Hello and welcome to another bite-sized jump into Adobe Lightroom, where this time we'll be looking at the tone curve and how to use it to add contrast to your image. So we've jumped into Lightroom, and as normal I've got a range of images that we can use to select from, and this time I'll be picking this one from Portobello Road in London just to show what we can do with this particular image. So if we select it and jump into the develop module, and we can have an investigate of the tone curve, and we've got our tone curve here, and basically it can do exactly the same as our highlight, shadows, whites and exposures in the fact that it will move the histogram around, basically playing with the lights and shades in your image to adjust the tones to your liking and to that artistic setting that you're after. I would use it in conjunction with your settings, and you can see I've already adjusted the image to what we have here and how I would like it. And these are all the processes that we've gone through in the previous bite-sized images. So just moving down to the tone curve, our line here basically is a description of all the lights and shades in this particular images, coming from dark on the left, as you would know on your histogram, all the way through the lights on the right hand side. And starting from the bottom to the top, the bottom is the deep blacks, and as you go all the way up to the top, you will introduce lighter and lighter until you get to pure white. And what we can do is by pressing on the Alt key and select part of the line, it will add a little marker, and what we can do is select 3 of those, one in the shadows, one in the shades and one in the highlights, and we can add what's called a simple S curve to pull down the darks just by pulling down, and going into the whites we can just push up a little, and it's all about being subtle here, and that will introduce more contrast to your image. So if we just switch it on and off so you can see the difference, it's very subtle, but you can see it's introduced a lot more contrast to the particular image. Now with this we can use the little eyedropper tool to select certain areas of the image. It's already dark black there, so that's down in the bottom, you can see it highlighting there. As we go along you see the little dots appear. So we've got a little dot appearing on a cone curve. Press your mouse button and drag down, and that will darken those particular areas. So we're almost adding a little curve in that particular area, and a subsequent S curve in there, just adding a little more adjustment. Let's bring that down a little. That's a little bit too aggressive, I think. So we've also got multiple S curves in there. And you can see it's added a bit more contrast, but you can select which areas you also want to target. One of the other things you can do is to add a little bit of a vintage feel. You can take your black marker and slowly drag it up, lightens the pure blacks and introduces a little bit of a fuzz, a little bit of haze, and you'll see this used on a lot of Instagram posts at the moment, giving an almost retro feel. And I think for this particular image, I'm not particularly keen on that, so I'm going to take it back down to the blacks and leave it at there. So in terms of introducing contrast to your image by using the tone curve, I think our job is done.